I think people are afraid when it comes to AI and learning that it's just going to become a cheating app, or we're just going to become a dumb generation.
Yeah.
Which is very understandable, but I think the worst thing we can do is not to talk about it.
Absolutely.
That's 100%. There's also so much positive, because there hasn't been that much of resources in school before, so you can't have a personalized teacher.
No, definitely. And I felt that. So I got into university at 2002. So what did you have to do? You had to go to the library and look for books, or you had to buy the textbooks they prescribed to you. And a lot of the time, like when I studied university, I would get this textbook that a particular professor liked, and I hated that book. I didn't understand anything. I felt so stupid, you know, a lot of the time. And I'm thinking, I'm not stupid. I've gotten here for a reason. There's something missing. So what you talk about, like this kind of personalization,
yes,
I did it like the hard way back in the day, which is you go to the library and then you find all kinds of books. You get like 10 different books on the same subject.
That's like the first
it's like a analog, old school personalization, you know.
That's, and that's also something we really try to get out there. I think a lot of people in the learning system are afraid that AI is now destroying the system. Saying that would mean that the system was perfect from the beginning.
Exactly.
And I think AI and what we're doing is much more just showing that it's been a problem in the system for a long time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think that the world is moving so fast now. We were also in San Francisco and saw how agents were building an agent army and then building their own companies and so on. So we were like, okay, what will actually even in the future be worth learning?
Exactly.
There's a big questions out there, I think.
Exactly.
I feel like a lot of things with AI today, correct me if I'm wrong, but in our opinion, is much more how to replace humans. But what we really want to do is enhance humans.
Yes.
And enhance the human brain and to fix the system in a way. So no kid should feel like school isn't for me.
Absolutely. And you're spot on as well, because it is a lot of at least corporate AI is like, how do I get more done with the same amount or even less amount of resources effectively? So definitely there is a focus on output and production rather than humans or
exactly.
people. Yeah.
So that's one of the main missions that
awesome.
we definitely have to instead make a smarter population.
Yeah, it's the future. So if you're not paying attention to kids in younger generation coming out, us older ones that are aging and are going to be obsolete soon, what's going to happen after that? There's a lot of narratives around that digital or AI tooling is making you dumber or bad for you, right? But it's like how do you use it? And if you just let the students cheat their way through and not learn anything, then of course you're going to have a negative impact. But if you package it in a way that helps them, tailors the course for them, that's something completely different.
Exactly. And I think also cheating has been around since school started.
Yeah, you should see the things that we used to do.
Exactly. So that's also a little bit ironic that this would be the first thing a student could use to cheat. That's not true.
They've been doing these kind of studies for decades, basically. So I think what they have concluded, and all of this is marginal, but what they see, for example, when you're absorbing more complicated concepts, they find that people that take notes, for example, by pen in a notepad, that's more effective than just typing. And the reason why is because when you're just typing, you're just literally just copying from the lecturer to your thing, and that's it. But when you're actually writing diagrams and taking notes, there seems to be more of an absorption effect happening. You're more actually starting to break down the concepts as you write.
Yeah, because I think also we don't want to remove writing with hand or, I don't know, going to lectures. That's one part of it.
Yes.
Right? Just talking for myself, I have ADHD, so school for me was also... I managed through. I actually got good grades, but it was on the behalf of not having my social life. I was so tired when I got home from school.
Right.
But it's still so interesting to see that I could not learn just reading. For me, I wanted to interact more, work peer to peer. That's how I started, which is really what we want to explore.
Perfect.
I also want to talk about Stockholm AI.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Because that's how I first saw you. I think we were at the Mappi event.
Yeah, that was awesome. Stockholm AI is just a voluntary thing that I've been doing for a while. I think So if I go back to the history of Stockholm AI, it was a bunch of us, Anton Ossika, Patrick Tan, and there was Kajsa Noreen, and there was another guy called Egil, and there was a whole bunch of us, and just meeting in Espresso House and just sitting around a laptop and talking data and machine learning models, basically. And then it just snowballed and became bigger. And we're sort of responsible for the development of AI in Stockholm and in Sweden, basically, just to democratize it. So it's been going on for, probably 8 or 9 years now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I did like a back of the envelope calculation, and it was, I think conservative figures is like $10 billion worth of value that came out of that community. So it's pretty insane.
I think it's very cool to see, but like you say, it's still, we're at Stanford, for example.
Yeah.
And we met this incredible professor. We have still had really good dialogues here in like with Swedish universities.
Yeah.
But the difference was massive in terms of speed and engagement and how they really want to be like first.
Yeah.
Versus here, it's much more, we don't want to be first, let's send this to someone else. Yeah, and the fact that they were interested in Klar, which was great
awesome.
for us, that made it very clear to us from another perspective how just slow and the kind of approach here is very different than the US, even in the education system. So that's also something that I believe we should be talking about more. When we were there, they were like, you should do this in the US market. They're very like, you shouldn't be focusing on Sweden. You should move here and let's explore this with Stanford.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing, but I think that kind of mindset to not be too afraid as well to new things. We should bring here if it's possible. Just out of like curiosity, how did you find out about Klar as well?
Well, I met you, I think you, Andreas, and Eric at that Stockholm AI event, and then I looked you guys up, and then like, okay, well, that's very cool. It's like you're trying to do something more than what like ChatGPT is doing. You're trying to go above that and kind of personalize it, and so that's very cool. Thank
you so much for coming here today and for giving us the insight and having a just nice conversation about AI learning.
Thank you for having me.